What's going on, guys? I'm Olivia. I am here outside the Monkland Tavern in NDG on, you guessed it, Monkland Street. Here to discover this wonderful gem in the neighborhood. We're going to go chat with Barbara Irwin, who's the owner of this fine establishment. Let's go inside and see what the tavern's all about. Bonjour tout le monde, je suis Olivia, je suis ici avec TVNDG et aujourd'hui on est là pour exposer ce bijou incroyable qui s'appelle la Taverne Monkland, un restaurant incroyable ici à NDG dans ce beau quartier. Allons-y jaser avec la propriétaire Barbara Irwin qui va nous parler un peu de cet bel établissement. Okay, welcome. All right, we're here at the Monkland Tavern and I'm in company of the wonderful Barb Irwin, who is the owner of the tavern. Barb, thanks for taking the time to be with us today. How are you?
Thank you. I'm great.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back in the swing of things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously it's been quite a year with COVID, not to jump right into that, but can you tell us a little bit about how it's been for you? Have you guys been closed? What's happening?
So we were closed for just a couple of weeks, and then we, at the beginning, and we came back and put together a store and started doing takeout, and we kept our staff because we had them doing the delivery instead of using Uber Eats or any other delivery service. So we were doing pickup. We tried to focus on a lot of local products in our store, and it was actually quite bonding for all of us. Like we already were very tight, but we became really, really close and a real great team.
So, Barb, you mentioned local products just now. Is that something you guys try and concentrate on in your menu items, for example? Can you tell us a bit about the menu here?
Yeah, so we definitely have our staples from the years, like our mac and cheese that everybody has to have on the menu, or cavatelli wild mushroom. But we're really, in the past few years, with our new chef Josh and owner, he's not that new anymore. It's been 10 years, but he really is vegetable driven, seasonal driven, sustainable. The fish that we buy, it's always like we try to focus on Quebec or East Coast products that are sustainably fished. And
would it be considered farm to table in that sense?
Pretty much, especially our table d'hôte. We have local farmers that we work with that are on island, actually. And so she brings us all her fresh produce, and we try to go with what's in season. And
I love that. So I could pop in here at any different point in the year and have a different menu.
Correct.
Okay. So
on the table d'hôte, and we change up our menu, our actual menu, like a couple times a year.
Yeah. Well, I've had the pleasure of eating here before. It's always been an amazing gustatory experience. Barb, how long have you guys been in the neighborhood of NDG?
We've been here since '95, so we're going into our 26th year.
26. And how did you get involved? How did you decide to come be an owner here? How did that all start?
Well, friends of mine were opening it. They were from the Claremont. I don't know if you remember the Claremont.
I do remember the Claremont over in Westmount, or NDG, right adjacent Westmount.
Yeah. So they were opening here, and I asked a friend of mine, Boris, who is now my business partner. I was like, "Can I come work for you? I want to, I'm really into coming and being with you guys and getting this place going." So I started working the first night. And then one of the owners left and moved to California. I think it was like in the second year maybe. And so I bought her shares, and that's it.
And the rest is history.
Yeah.
I think NDG is a very special neighborhood. Obviously, there's lots of nice little gems kind of surrounding, whether you're on Monkland or on Sherbrooke West, or there's lots of different spots. You've been here now in this location for 26 years. What do you love about NDG?
I just, the ability to walk down the street and have Maitre Boucher, where you can get amazing produce, like great meats, I don't know, there's so many great restaurants on the street. Mm-hmm. The Kiwa, the Korean restaurant down the street, is one of the best I've eaten at. You have Lucille's, everything, like you've got everything. You can go for just a pint at the pub next door.
Yeah.
There's always something to do, and plus you have beautiful parks, tons of trees. It's gorgeous.
I agree, and you get the residential with the urban mixed in, which is quite a treat. Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit about how the tavern has evolved over the years, whether it's in terms of the menu or in terms of the concept? How would you say the narrative of the restaurant has progressed in 26 years?
I feel like we've come around to really respecting food and like not taking for granted that you can just overfish, and like we really think about that.
Oh, I think that's fantastic. So there's actually a component of sustainability that you're keeping in mind when you're doing your shopping and when you're managing the food.
Yeah.
We're
very focused on that.
No, it's important for a restaurant, I think. Barb, can you tell me off the top of your head if you have any like funny anecdotes or stories or anything you can think of that's happened in the walls of the tavern over the years? A fun anecdote.
Goodness. One thing that made me really smile is there's one couple that had their first date here. They ended up getting married. 2-3 years later, she's pregnant, and she's sitting down and they're eating, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you're gonna have a baby, and she's like, yeah, and it's now, like it's tonight. I had to have my last meal at the tavern.
You're kidding.
And she's like, can you just speed it up a tiny bit because I've got to go.
You're kidding me.
So she finished her pasta and then she went to the hospital and had a baby. We've got so many great relationships with so many clients, like they've become friends.
Yeah.
And you've got people that come here, like whether it's once a week, once a month, but they feel like it's a home, and we feel like they're part of our family.
Sure.
They're not just clients. There's so many people like that.
What you're really referring to is community, I think.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
It's community, and I think we're seeing that also out front with this beautiful garden out front. Can you quickly tell us what I'm looking at outside? I'm
so happy about that. So a few years ago, Josh and I built these planter boxes, and we planted our vegetables for the tavern. And so COVID hit, and we were like, we can't do it this year.
Yeah.
And Incredible Edibles approached us and said, would you allow us to plant a community garden? We were like, amazing. So they planted it, and everybody can just walk by and pick some herbs or vegetables as they're on their way home, which I think is beautiful. And
Absolutely.
People have been super kind about it, like the way they pick, they're respectful. And the women that work for Incredible Edibles, Evelyn, she's wonderful. She comes and waters when I'm not here. If I'm not here on Sunday, she'll come and water the plants.
Nice.
And like it's a win-win because it looks gorgeous. Mm-hmm. We didn't have to put it in, and they get a spot to plant everything.
Yeah, and you kind of continue to cultivate those community ties,
exactly,
which matter.
Yeah.
Barb, you mentioned that you guys kind of started up in '95 here at the tavern. What was here before that, and how did it kind of transition?
So
over?
It was a true tavern.
Okay.
No women allowed. Yes.
Spicy.
Yeah. I'm not really sure. I think it might have been closed for about a year before we opened. And it was called the Union Palace Tavern. And the windows on the side, there were no windows. There were tiny little windows at the top. And so many people tell me that the first beer they ever had when they were 14 was here.
Right, really.
And apparently Doug Harvey was always here.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah. And one thing that's funny is underneath this floor is a terrazzo floor, and the bar wasn't here, but there was just a keg fridge in the middle over here, and where the gentleman walked to the keg, there was a groove in the floor where he went back and forth. And I don't know if you know anything about terrazzo, but it's like one of the hardest stone floorings, and it's
that
impossible.
Exists,
yeah. And so it was just so funny because he actually, I think they were open for, I want to say 60 years.
Barb, anything you want to say to people watching about the tavern?
If you haven't tried it in a while, come back, because I think you're going to be really surprised at how much we've stayed okura, and the things that we've changed for the better, and our staff is amazing, and you're going to love them.
Barb, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to come eat here again. It's going to be great.
Thank you.
All right. Appreciate it.
If I had my baby, wanna be in the jailhouse now. You grew on me like gravity. My heart was just a feeling.
TVNDG.